This is 12.8 surface area of prisms. So far we started out with area of two-dimensional figures. Then we moved on to 3D figures and we talked about volume. Now we're switching gears from volume to surface area. So instead of area on a flat surface, surface area is going to be the area around a three-dimensional figure. So we were talking about filling something up. Now we're going to think about wrapping something. So whenever I think of surface area, I think of wrapping paper. So if I'm wrapping something in wrapping paper, I'm covering the whole outer surface. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be solving how much wrapping paper we essentially need for each of these. If you open a box or a prism and you lay it flat, kind of like seen here, opening this prism gives me this. Opening this prism gives me this. Opening those prisms gives me a result of what's called a net. So we have a net of first a rectangular prism, and then second we have a net of a triangular prism. Every prism, remember, has two congruent parallel bases. Faces that are not the bases are called the lateral faces. The lateral area is the sum of the areas of all the lateral faces, whereas the surface area is the lateral area and the area of the bases. So grab two colors. We'll color the bases in red here and the lateral faces in green. So it's a little bit easier. Let's actually start with the triangular prism. So since this is a triangular prism, I know that the base is a triangle. I also see there are only two triangles, therefore I know that these are my bases. So in red here are my bases, my two triangles. That means the rectangles are my lateral faces. Okay, so my lateral area is going to be everything in green. If I were to add up everything in red and everything in green, that would be my surface area. It would be covering the entire figure. Now let's look at the rectangular prism. So the rectangular prism has two bases, here and here. It is a rectangular prism, so I know the bases are rectangles. My lateral faces are all the rest of these rectangles. So if I look at just the area in green here, this would be my lateral area. If I add the green and the red, I get the surface area because I'm covering the whole thing. So again, lateral area is the lateral faces added up. Surface area is the whole thing, the lateral area plus the area of the bases. So we have two different formulas here. One for lateral area and one for surface area that covers the entire surface. The lateral area of a prism is capital P, the perimeter of the base, times the height of the prism. So this is my formula for the lateral area of a prism. If we look up here at the net, we see that this is literally unwrapped. These edges in green will wrap around the bases. The space around the base would be the perimeter. That's where this P comes from. The height is going to be what connects those two bases. That's where the h comes from. Now looking at the surface area. The surface area, remember, is the lateral area plus the area of the bases. So we can start out by saying the surface area is the lateral area plus, well, there's two bases. So 2 times the capital B, which was the area of the base. So if it's a triangular prism, it's 2 times the area of a triangle. If it's a rectangular prism, it's 2 times the area of the rectangle. So let's try some of these. 1A says find the lateral area and the surface area of each prism. So always start with your lateral area. The lateral area is the perimeter of the base times the height. So let's look at our base. It's a rectangle. Okay, so the perimeter is the distance all the way around. A rectangle has two sides that are congruent. So I'm going to have 2 times 1.3 plus 2 times 1.4. That's going to give me the distance all the way around the base. The height is what connects the two bases, the top and the bottom, which is 1.2. So my lateral area is the perimeter times the height. And remember, our area is always in units squared. Okay, now let's look at our surface area. Our surface area is the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. Well, we just found our lateral area was 6.48. Now we'll have to find the area of the base. Well, we said this bottom part is what we were using as the base. That's a rectangle. Area formula for a rectangle is the base times the height. So I'll do 1.3 times 1.4 to find my area of the base. It is 1.82. So we'll plug it into our formula. Surface area equals lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. And I get 10.12 meters squared. Now you'll notice when you go through lateral area for each of the rectangular prisms, when you're checking your answer, will say sample answer. If you look at this shape, you can technically use any single one of them as the base because every single shape is a rectangle. So you may get a different answer for lateral area, but your surface area should never change because it's always covering the entire thing. Now let's look at a triangular prism. These ones I think are a little bit easier. The base here is a triangle. So my lateral area is the perimeter of the base times the height. Let's look at all the sides of the triangle. Well, I see 12, 5, and 13. So I'll add those together to find the perimeter of the base. Hopefully you guys are following along and you're doing this on your calculator as well, just to make sure that you're getting the same answers, pausing the videos if you need to. Now let's look at my height. My height is what connects my two bases, which would be 15. So my lateral area would be the perimeter times the height. Now moving on to surface area. Surface area is the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. Lateral area we just found to be 450. Now we need to find our B. Well, the base is a triangle. The area formula for a triangle is 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. Remember, your base and your height always make your right angle. My right angle is here, so that would be 5 and 12. So 5 times 12 times a half and now plug into your surface area formula. Lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. (510 feet squared). So again, two answers, lateral area and surface area. Number 2, Mark is painting a skateboard ramp like the one shown. Find the surface area of the ramp. Then determine how much paint he needs if 1 quart covers 100 square feet. So it wants surface area. I'm going to write out the surface area for a prism. It's the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. Now, it's not asking me for the lateral area first, so I'm going to write this out even further. It would be the perimeter times the height plus 2 times the area of the base. So now let's look at all of our missing parts. We need the perimeter of the base first. Well, this skateboard ramp is a triangular prism, so the shape of the base is a triangle. I see 5, 2, and 5.4. Adding them all together to find my perimeter. My height is what connects my two bases. So connecting the two triangles would be 4. Capital B stands for area of the base. Well, the base is a triangle, and my area formula for a triangle is 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. And remember, the base and the height make the right angle. So I see 2 and 5. 5 times 2 times 0.5, or 5 times 2 divided by 2 gives me 5. So now I'm ready to plug into my formula. I need the perimeter times the height plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay, so that gives me the first part of the question. The second part wants to know if 1 quart covers 100 square feet, about how many quarts will he need? Well, I can do 59.6 divided by 100 square feet for a quart. And you might be able to tell he's not even going to need a full quart. He's going to need a little bit more than half. Remember, whenever we divide by 100, it's like moving the decimal place 2 times to the left. So I can say about 0.6 of a quart. Alright, that's the end of 12.8. The key here is to figure out whether you have a triangular prism or a rectangular prism so that you can plug it in. Just as a reminder, on those rectangular prisms, like number 1, 3, 9, 11, you may have different answers for the lateral area, and we can check those together tomorrow in Zoom. But your surface area should always match that in the back of the book. So make sure you're checking those answers as you guys go